Hey, what's going on, y'all? Hype found it in another entry. I'm not gonna say what day I'm on, but just know that I'm still on the journey, right? I learned something about doing things in excess. In the book is called the Christian in Complete Armor. I read both volumes 1 and 2, right? And I learned don't do things in excess, of course, the obvious PMO, right? You do that in excess, you're gonna have issues. You're gonna have psychiatric psychiatric issues. I've watched PMO. I PMO plenty of times. Before I even knew about NoFap, I PMO plenty of times. Ended up going crazy in the psych ward, right? Because I used to do it too much, right? That's why the book says, don't do things in excess. The book says, don't be too holy. Don't be holy in excess. You know what I mean? Like, we're flesh. You know what I mean? You try to be holy in excess, you might just go crazy. One of my favorite rappers, from the group is called the Cross Movement. And I used to love listening to them. When I got in high school, my cousin had the cassette tape. I used to love their music, right? One of the artists in that group is named The Fanatic. You know what I mean? And Phanatik, right? He got into an argument with some atheists and he threw away Christianity. He threw away his religion. He's living worldly now. It just goes to show you, if you look too far, you go too far, you can literally lose your spirituality. Like, you know what I mean? You could just lose it. You know what I mean? The atheists must have won the argument or something. I know people arguing with atheists all the time. Ministers, that I grew up with, arguing with atheists online and everything, right? So this is just a video just letting y'all know, like, I'm just being realistic with myself. I'm trying to do a lot of days on NoFap, right? But if I do fall, you know what I mean? It won't be often and it won't be in excess. You know what I mean? It won't be in excess. I'm not going to fap 7, 8 times a day for 3 months straight. Like, you know what I mean? You don't do it in excess. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's an argument that, yeah, there is something wrong with watching porn. There is something wrong with it, right? But it's two sides of the same coin, though. You got light and dark in the same coin. You could be light, you could be dark. You never know when, how, why. But you could be light and you could be dark. Like, not at the same time, but two sides of the same coin. You know what I mean? So I'm doing this NoFap streak and I'm doing this NoFap journey and everything like that. And I'm relaxed. I'm just taking it one day at a time. I'm enjoying it. You know what I mean? And I'm going to get what the NoFap, tells you they're going to give. Benefits, all of that stuff. But then I can't sleep on the fact that if I'm too holy or if I'm too immersed in NoFap, I could turn dark. I could do something crazy. You know what I mean? If I'm too immersed in it, And yeah, so I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I'm just trying to do my days. You know what I mean? I'm not looking too far into it, which is good. If I was trying to do those 150, I might look too far into it. You know what I mean? I have to do it. I have to do 150 days. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do one day. But I choose to do one day. You know what I mean? I choose to do 2 days. I don't even know what day I'm on right now. I'm not counting. But, I'm doing my days. You know what I mean? And I know what I want out of it. You know what I mean? I may be asking for too much to do 150 days right now. Maybe 150 days is not for me to do right now. It's for me to do in the future, later on. It might be the streak. I don't know, but it's better to be up in the air than to be really like, yo, man, forget PMO for life. You know what I mean? Forget PMO for life. I can't do that. I can't proclaim that yet. It's going to take time. You know what I mean? So hope God builds me up. You know what I mean? To do high days, Anyway, that's just my thoughts on religion and light and dark and everything. You could, tell me what you think in the comments. I'll see y'all in the next video.